How's it going, guys? Todd Hobson here. I just want to go through what All Dirt Tracks Lead to Indiana really means. So I'm going to go back a step before I get into what it means and what drives me. So pretty much I'm just going to explain how it come about. So pretty much I went to Indiana in 2015, 2019. 2015 was to spectate, 2019 was to crew. Now the crewing experience really enticed me to actually pursue the racing career over there. I just wanted to go over and see if it was for me, and it exceeded all expectations. So eventually that became my goal. Racing 410 non-wing sprint cars competitively, and I'm not explicitly saying what series, I'm not explicitly saying at what level, just I want to race them competitively and consistently. So if you want to know a bit more about that backstory and where I've come from in terms of my racing career to where it's going, check out the video in the link. Tyler Barton explains it all perfectly in his wide open video that we did together. And yeah, it just saves me rambling for 15 minutes. So pretty much All Dirt Tracks Lead to Indiana is that progressive process, the progressive learning process. I want to be more specific towards that goal of racing in Indiana. So pretty much it's more than a hashtag. It's that learning process every single night at every single racetrack. I won't even call it every single racetrack. I'm going to say every single day of my life at the moment. Because as a lot of people know, outside my mechanical engineering degree, and no, I'm not even say during my mechanical engineering degree and my work, which is working for Endurico, which is right there. So this comes from all aspects of a racetrack and through my life. So at the racetrack, it pretty much includes like at the racetrack in terms of racing myself, crewing and spectating. You learn a lot racing yourself in terms of like your own stuff. But what's really good is like, I don't look for these opportunities for learning. I don't go suss what anyone's doing at the track. Like I like to walk around and have a little look, but that's not what I'm intending to do. I'm not thinking, this guy's fast, let's look what he's doing. That's not it. That's far from it. Because then you're looking what other people are doing and not focusing on your program. So as I said, it's more than the racetrack. So pretty much that includes shop maintenance, driving to and from, obviously, physical training, and even the PR stuff like this. And I missed one. Mental training, huge. I should never have missed that because that's so undermined. Probably if you've known me for a few years, my physical strength is a lot better than it was a few years ago. I was chubby, let's just say that. No, I was fat. Let's just call it that. I was fat and I was unfit. I didn't care about what I ate, and I thought, how good. I thought everything was just going to come to me. Terrible mindset to have. I was getting tired from races, I'm not going to lie, even in the V6, which I think the V6 is somewhere to work harder because the car's not doing the work for you. The one thing I'm big on is no excuses. So what I think with physical training is the mental side as well, which I mentioned at the end of my bit of an introduction. If you're physically tired in terms of sweating, arms are jelly, can't do much, and that's a fitness thing, like you're unfit, that's mental fitness too. If you're thinking you're tired, you are not going to throw it in the hole as hard as you can to try to get that move, you know, or rip around the top, banging the fence down. You're not going to have that confidence because you're like, I'm tired, I'm just hanging on to finish. Finishing 15th's not going to, like, that's fine if you want to finish 15th, but if you want to win, someone behind you is going to be elbows up. I can't really get my elbow. Oh, yes, I can. Get your elbows up and wrestle the wheel and hustle around you, you know. Now, the mental side's a bit independent as well. I really like thinking of the mental side. I'm really not there yet, but I'm trying my absolute best to get as best as I can be mentally. And especially now with our lockdowns in Australia and stuff and the travel ban and all that, I've really been focusing on just trying to see that light at the end of the tunnel. And All Dirt Tracks Lead to Indiana just is that little speck of light right at the end. Because unless you have tens of thousands of dollars, we can't leave the country. And you have to sacrifice so much time and like resources to just make that happen, and it's draining. So at this stage as well, it's not really a good direction of what's going to happen in terms of with the COVID lockdowns, as I mentioned. So, but that just entices you to just to keep that consistent grind, because if I want to race in the States, you have to be well equipped. If you're going to go there and you still really don't know what the hell you're doing, they are going to absolutely blow past you and you'll be lapped down every night and probably crash a lot of stuff. These guys don't mess around. That's it. A lot of them, it's their paycheck you're screwing with. And you think they're just going to give it up like that. It's not going to happen. It's not a gentleman's... It is a gentleman's sport, but it's not like that over here, like here. Like they race like they have to race tomorrow, but then you're not going to get in the way of their paycheck. Obviously, I'm talking equipped in terms of these lessons, and that in terms of all type of lessons. And I'm a big believer, and I've actually experienced a lot of this myself, is learning the hard way. All too much, I see people get the easy road, everything's great for them, and then when shit hits the fan, they crumble, to put it simply. You have to take a progressive approach. I'm not saying a positive approach, but when these happen, you have to sort of take that progressive approach. I'm sort of there, but I'm not. I like to say I want to improve more. That's the whole point of this. So these progressive things you have to encounter is obviously such mistakes in terms of your driving error, setup error, mechanical error, which thankfully I haven't had a mechanical error in a long time. Misconceptions is a good one. It's just if you just misconcept a concept, and I'm a bit of like, you have to justify it to me. Like, I'm not a snub asshole. Like, I'm not just gonna say no because I believe in it. I like a logical discussion, like engineers and sort of, if you want to call it STEM or whatever. Like, we like to be like, it's a good discussion to be disproven. Like, I love that discussion. Crashes as well. That's like a result of mistakes. How much you can learn from a crash. Like, it's humbling how much you can learn from a crash. A lot, especially when you're trying to be a hero and you ride your car off doing stupid stuff. But then again, you bring back to it and you think, oh, someone crashed. Like, I got in a crash and there was nowhere I could go. Mate, you were starting 20th. Like, you had a crap heat. Like, unless it laid rubber the first heat and you like had a rear grid draw and everyone crashes in turn one, I don't really see. I think that's the only situation I can say that justifies starting 20th. Like, you just weren't good enough in some way or form. Like, as harsh as it sounds, that's the mindset you got to have. That's where this, like, they're all the micro scales. Then you got to take it out to the big macro, like long term. That's where you think your journey's going somewhere. And it doesn't have to be positive, positive, negative, negative. It can be all that. It's just as long as it's progressive. You're working towards this way, not going up, down. Like, that's different. I prefer to go in the X direction if you want to get nerdy. Because if you really think of it, 12 months ago, like, my fitness program is, like, sort of well refined from where it was 12 months ago. I'm still sort of misinformed. I don't call myself a gym junkie or anything. I just know what I need for racing. And I have good sponsors like Emily Wallace helped me out with some questions. Like, she was doing full programs for me, but I respect her time and I don't really like bothering her too much. So we work together and make something really cool just to benefit me in my fitness. 12 months ago, I was pretty, not out of shape, but cardio was bad. Like, that was a letdown. And I've just I was to a point at every night until my body couldn't take it. And then now it's sort of toned back a bit because I literally can't run sometimes, just with some go-kart injuries. And yeah, it's leaps and bounds from where I was 12 months ago, especially with my pace. This is a good indication that, like, you're going in the right direction, but you just have to make sure you look at, like, zoom out and look at it long term. Because if you sort of stuff's not going right here, it sort of pertains that illusion of stagnation, and you don't really want that to upset your momentum. So why do it? It's nearly impossible, probably, it seems, especially nowadays with COVID travel bans, etc. It's honestly just the potential. Like, I can't justify not even trying. Like, I think I can get to this level in some way or form. And I know it's going to take a lot of work and probably a lot of sweat and tears and a lot of money, but I just can't not go towards it. I can't just sit here and watch it from the sidelines. It's just not how I don't like thinking that. Like, I just can't live half full in a way. I just feel like I do sometimes, but just in the end of the day, it's just the stagnation really screws me. Like, just sitting here now, I'm just jittery because I'm not doing something constructive in a way. And in context of my degree, I'll go, because that's a very important part to my next step as well. But I'm just jittery, just sitting here thinking, oh no, I'm not doing something towards that. That's just how I'm wired. I can't sit and relax. Let's just say that. It's not necessarily I have to keep busy. I have to be progressive. I just fear regret more than the actual fear of failure. Like, I fail a lot. Like, you don't see what I fail. And it's just, yeah, it's Sometimes it takes a bit, and it takes me a bit to rebound. And this all isn't on social media. I don't put that shit on there because no one wants to see you piss and whinge. Let's just say that. And also lastly, which is the biggest point, as I sort of mentioned at the start of this, why do it, is people have told me I can't do it. And that's the most dangerous thing you can ever do to me. A good example is my degree. For those who don't know, I'm at Monash University doing mechanical engineering. That is the second highest entry in Victoria, which is my state I live in. So pretty much from my year 12, which is senior at high school, I worked hard, but sort of the system, I don't want to blame it because I hate victim mentality too. The system was slightly against me, and I really didn't put in the effort I thought I needed to get that level. I got a 78 to put it really simple. Anyway, I just scraped in a Deakin Engineering, which I then transferred to Monash in my second year, working my ass off at Deakin. Well, when I got my ATAR, I was upset, obviously, but fast forward to now, putting my last year in probably one of the hardest engineering degrees in the country. And I'm bloody happy I've gone that far. Like, I just love proving the system wrong. I love proving people wrong. Right, so another reason of this, someone telling me I can't do it, is more or less related to my dad. So 2011, we had a dirt mod race at Bairnsdale Speedway, I want to say. And we had a big dirt mod entity there. And he come into Dad's truck and said, "Hey Lloyd, when are you gonna update and get the latest and greatest to make this thing competitive again?" It was something like that. I don't want to paraphrase and say the wrong thing, but it's sort of what he was getting at. Anyway, Dad said, no, stuff's good, that's all good. Yep, and then usual Dad is stubborn and won't change his mind for anything. Anyway, I thought it was a bit triggered by it too at the time, but I have a lot of respect for what they were doing in the end. My favourite photo of all time when I started racing was the 2020 Dirt Mod title at Parramatta. In the four-wide salute, there's that uncompetitive race car at the front on the front row. How good is that? Another thing that just says, defied the odds, proved them wrong, and man, the program is way better now than what it was back in 2020 anyway. So I'm really looking forward to hopefully get some blue ribbon events with that car. So that's a long-winded way to put it, but that's all dirt tracks lead to Indiana, and that's why I do it. I found it so hard to put into words. This is probably long, but I hope you've taken the time to watch this fully, and I'm looking forward to sharing the journey with you. So the journey is a video doco series that I put a trailer out for in my highlight video and on my YouTube channel. So look forward to episode 1 of that. I'm not going to explain what that is. I just want to surprise everyone and get everyone to watch it and involved. So don't forget to check it out when it comes out because it's going to be cool. Cheers.